Peace and Yah bless. Yah's a strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He's the spirit and creator of all things that live and breathe. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk about sinning in ignorance against the Holy One of Israel. Sinning in ignorance against the Holy One of Israel. Now, turn in your books to Numbers 15. Okay? Go there in your book, and we're going to look at the law of ignorance. Okay? And what it's all about. Okay? Because as I said, a great many of you, are involved in, like I said, in these very chip programs and things like that. Okay? And you didn't have enough information about it. So you might have been either coerced to do it or whatever the case is. And you did, right? Okay? But the law of Yah doesn't agree with doing that. Okay? It's not to make people feel bad or anything of that kind of a matter. Okay? But indeed, you have sinned in ignorance before Yah. And as I said, this right here, this is the Most High is going to end all that. Okay? One day. Okay? He's going to end all that. This right here. Okay? Put an end to that. Because, they're trying to enslave the whole world by administering, those very chips. Okay? Now let's talk about sinning through ignorance. Verse number 25. A priest shall make an atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel. This is talking about not no regular priest, not nobody at no church. It's talking about only the priest of Yah, right? In particular, the highest of all the priests. Okay? Start again. Go to Numbers 15. Okay? Verse 25. And the priest shall make an atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for it is ignorance. Okay? All right? And they shall bring their offering, right? A sacrifice made by fire unto Yah. Okay? And their sin offering before Yah for their ignorance. Okay? Now, this was back in the day, okay? And it will occur in the future. Okay? But you don't want to be sinning ignorantly before the Most High. Ignorance means what? You just didn't know. Because of that very chip stuff, people just don't actually have enough information about that to be doing that from the get-go. Okay? Now, it isn't that I despise you, and you shouldn't despise me. Okay? Over that situation, it just happened that way. Okay? So, I'm not here to castigate, okay, or judge about, what happened with that, because I'm sure many people, they hear me talking about that, they want to know why my opinion is so brash, so to say, okay? But you got to be careful sinning before the Most High in ignorance, because that's what you've done, okay? And it shall be forgiven the congregation of the children of Israel, and the stranger too, right? That sojourneth among them, okay? Seeing all the people were in ignorance. So, when you read this, it talks about what is to be done or how you can get yourself back in good with the Most High after you have sinned ignorantly before Him by making some kind of infraction or doing something that caused you to sin ignorantly, okay? And the priest shall make an atonement for the soul that sinneth ignorantly, okay? When he sinneth by ignorance, okay? Before Yah, okay? To make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him, okay? That's why the Most High told me that. He's like, man, you got to pray for these people. If you pray for them, then they shall live. But if you don't pray for them, it's a possibility they're going to die, okay? Simple as that. Okay? Verse 29. Ye shall have one law for him that sinneth through ignorance, both for him that is born among the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them. Okay? Now here's the key to that ignorance. It has to be strictly that. If you do something presumptuously before the Most High, man, the Most High is going to be a problem. Okay? Because that's different to saying presumptuous. That means you did it on purpose, as opposed to doing it in ignorance. Okay? All right? All right. Now, we was in the land, then the offering will be required of you if the nation sinned altogether, or if an individual sins in ignorance before Yah. Okay? But let's go to verse number 30. But the soul that doeth aught presumptuously, that means you did it on purpose. Okay? Whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproacheth the Lord, right? Okay? And that soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he hath despised the word of the Lord. So you despise it, man. You despise Yah, man. Okay? And have broken his commandment. You did it on purpose. Okay? That soul shall be utterly cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him. You hear that? Okay? Now remember that. So when you do something presumptuously, the Most High is like, man, you're in big trouble, man. Okay? You're in big trouble. But if you do it out of ignorance, well, then that's a whole nother matter. Okay? It's like this. It's like right here. Let's read a little bit more. This guy right here does something. This is a great example right here. He does something not out of ignorance, but he does it presumptuously. So let's continue on right. Okay? And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks on the Sabbath day. So he's working. He's doing work on the Sabbath day, all right? So he knew the law, especially back then, right? He knew the law, so he did it presumptuously. He didn't do it out of ignorance. He did it presumptuously. So let's see what happens to him, okay? And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation, okay? And they put him in a ward, right? Because it was not declared what shall be done with him, okay? And Yah said to Moses, the man shall surely be put to death. Okay? Why was he put to death? Because he done something what? Presumptuously before the Most High. He did it presumptuously. He despised the Most High. He despised his word and broke his commandment because he knew better than to be out gathering sticks on the Sabbath day, right? Especially if his dwelling, if his dwelling was outside, that's a different deal. Okay? But he knew better than that because he was amongst the congregation back then. I'm talking back during this time. He knew. So he did it what? Presumptuously. Did it on purpose. Out there on purpose doing that. Gathering sticks. doing work on the Sabbath day. Most High don't like that, right? It's against the law. Okay? Exodus 20, right? Okay? Verse 35. And Yah said to Moses, the man shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones outside the camp. Okay? And all the congregation brought him outside the camp. That's what without means, outside the camp. And stoned him with stones, and he died, as Yah commanded Moses. See, Moses said, yo, I ain't going for that. I'm going for no disrespect, man. Okay? I'm going for no disrespect. All right? So you have to be careful how you sin against the Most High. If you do something presumptuously, you're in trouble. If you do something out of ignorance, okay, like I've talked about these very chips and all that stuff, right? You did it ignorantly. Well, you just did it ignorantly, okay? But those chips, as I told you, can be lethal, okay? And the Most High gonna put an end to that one day, and when this gonna be it. That's why I got that photo up, okay? That's why I got that photo up right there. Okay? Because if not, that one day will probably spread worldwide. And the Most High ain't going to allow for that to happen. I told you that is it's a mighty, mighty military weapon. I'm here to tell you, man. All right? But if you sin, a lot of y'all have sinned, man. Okay? You've sinned. Okay? You've sinned against the Holy One of Israel by doing that. But you did it through ignorance. Okay? So let's read a little bit. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a soul shall sin through ignorance, right, against any of the commandments, right, against any of the commandments of Yah concerning these things, which are not to be done, key word, which are not to be done, okay, and shall do against any of them, okay, then what happens? The priest that is anointed, right, he goes in and makes atonement. Then it starts naming off, all the different things, the whole ritual and what happens with it. No need to read all that, okay? No need to read all that, okay? But it tells you what's supposed to go down, whether it's the leader of the congregation, whether it's the prince, whether it's the high priest himself, whether it's whoever it is, the whole congregation. Once it's found out that we've sinned against the Most High, we have to go make, restitution for it, okay? Especially back during this time. And in the future, all this will take back effect again. It'll be done the same exact way. Okay, because the temple will be built, the altar sacrifice will be built, altar of incense. There won't be an Ark of the Covenant, Jeremiah 3:16. We know that already, etc., etc. Okay? But I just want to talk to you guys about that, because y'all have sinned ignorantly. Okay? You've done something out of ignorance that you shouldn't have done, okay? But here's the key. If you hear my voice and you still do it presumptuously, then that's going to be a problem. Okay? Okay? I'm going to let the Holy One of Israel do whatever he want to do with you. But if you did out of ignorance or or whatever the case is, that's a whole different matter. But don't do it presumptuously. Okay? So that's the law of ignorance. Okay? You can go read it yourself, Leviticus chapter 4 and Numbers chapter 15. Read it yourself. All right? So thank you guys for listening. Peace. Y'all bless.